Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a little video today talking about the Champions League semi-final first leg matches. Obviously Liverpool beating Roma 5-2 on Tuesday night in an amazing performance, which was perfect, as you know, Jurgen Klopp said, for 80 minutes. And then you know, they allowed Roma back into the game. 2 late goals for Roma give them hope in the second leg. Of course, against Barcelona in the last round in the quarterfinals, they lost 4-1 at Camp Nou and went on to win the second leg 3-0 and went through on away goals. Something similar would get them through this time. But you know, Roma had played very well at Camp Nou, and I felt that they were very, very unlucky to lose that first leg 4-1, whereas on Tuesday night they didn't really deserve any better than what they got. And you know, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to turn it around in the second leg. Obviously Mohamed Salah on fantastic form again, 2 goals against his former club, and you know, he'll be the man to watch, of course, in the second leg at the Stadio Olimpico. It's hard to see, you know, lightning striking twice. We saw it last season with Barcelona, their famous comeback against Paris Saint-Germain, and then when they needed to try and do it again against Juventus, it was a step too far, and I think it's going to be a step too far again for Roma. I don't see Liverpool throwing away a 3-goal advantage in the second leg. And you know, even though Roma haven't conceded at home in the Champions League, you know, Liverpool's attack is just phenomenal, and led of course by Salah, but also with Mane and Firmino, just a formidable forward line. And you know, I fancy Liverpool to get through. A lot of Liverpool fans last night licking their lips a little bit at the prospect of playing either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the final. Bayern against Real Madrid finished 2-1 to the Spanish side at the Allianz Arena. A crazy game, and not the highest quality of games, it has to be said. A look at the match stats doesn't really tell the whole story. Bayern dominated the possession, 60.3% to Real Madrid's 39.7. 17 shots for Bayern, 7 for Real Madrid, but only 5 on target for their German side, 4 for Real. The expected goals statistic is an interesting one, though. That's a number devised by Opta, looking at the quality of the chances created to come up with a value of an expected number of goals for either team. And Bayern's, given the quality of their chances last night, was 2.48, and Real Madrid was 0.73. And that doesn't reflect what we saw, because obviously, you know, Bayern scored 1 and Real Madrid scored 2 in the end. And you know, the goals came, well, Bayern's goal obviously came from actually a mistake from Keylor Navas, really. I mean, Navas, if he stays on his feet, I think he can save the Kimmich effort quite comfortably. And also in the lead up to the goal, Marcelo was behind the goal retrieving a ball for some reason. Very strange, because obviously these days, you know, in top matches in Champions League, in La Liga, there's lots and lots of footballs all around the stadium, so you don't need to go and retrieve a ball like that. And that left him out of position. Kimmich attacked down that side and was left all alone. As I said, Navas went down early, and it's those kind of mistakes from Keylor. You know, he's a great shot stopper, one of the very best, but it's those kind of mistakes that he makes now and again, you know, that make us understand perhaps why Real Madrid are in the market for a top goalkeeper, and they certainly want to bring in a goalkeeper this summer. But you know, Real Madrid came back, something against the run of play. Marcelo making up for his error, atoning for that mistake with a wonderful goal on the volley after a good piece of build-up play from Real Madrid. I think it was 19 passes, a headed cross from Carvajal. It was a strange move, and Marcelo finishing on the volley, which the goalkeeper just didn't really expect. And you know, Real Madrid were back in it without really having done too much. You know, there was a possible penalty as well for Bayern early on in the game with Dani Carvajal, who I thought was quite disappointing last night. Was caused a lot of problems by Bayern. Carvajal pushing Lewandowski in the back, and you know, in an action that was similar in fact to the one we saw the controversial penalty we saw at the Bernabeu in the last round, you know, with Lucas Vázquez on Benatia on Lucas Vázquez, which was given a penalty. Last night's wasn't given a penalty, so Real Madrid got the rub again in that respect, but ended up winning the game. Obviously Marco Asensio came on at half-time. Isco was injured. Asensio came on and scored the winner, and a breakaway goal was another mistake. A mistake from a misplaced pass from Rafinha, and that allowed Real Madrid to break very quickly, and Asensio is just devastating on those breaks. He came on, you know, he and Lucas have been so important. Lucas Vázquez in Real Madrid's run in the Champions League, in the knockout stages against Paris Saint-Germain, they came on and changed the game. They were both picked in the second leg at the Parc des Princes. They were important again, and you know, also you know, against Juventus. So those two, just very impressive, and they cost 5 million euros between them, which is amazing, really. It just goes to show that, you know, it's not always about spending 100 million on a Galactico. And talking about 100 million euro Galacticos, Gareth Bale didn't make it on, and he was a forlorn figure, you know, in the mix zone after the game. Didn't look happy at all, and it's understandable. It looks really like it's coming to an end for Bale at Real Madrid. You know, Asensio's moved ahead of him in the pecking order, just like Asensio really moved ahead of James last season, and James obviously now at Bayern Munich, and I thought had a very good game last night. But you know, now Asensio's moved ahead of Bale, and I do think that, you know, it's probably coming to an end now for the Welshman at Real Madrid. But this tie is by no means over. You know, Real Madrid beat Bayern 2-1 in the Champions League last season at the Allianz Arena in Munich, and you know, the second leg, albeit you know, Real Madrid went through in the end, but they needed extra time to do so because they lost 2-1 at the Bernabeu, which meant that the two teams were level. And this season, you know, Real Madrid have had their problems at home at the Bernabeu, and I think it's 12 games in all competitions they haven't won now. Obviously a draw would take them through, but they'll certainly want to avoid a repeat of the debacle against Juventus in the last round. So you know, the way that Real Madrid play, still very much a counter-attacking team despite all their quality in midfield. You know, it means that at home they can struggle sometimes, and you know, like I say, Bayern showed a lot of quality last night. They didn't take the chances, but they'll be dangerous in the return leg, and they'll certainly be looking at what Juventus did in the last round and thinking, you know, we're still in this, we still have a chance to make it through. Obviously, something of a Spanish curse now for Bayern, you know, in recent seasons. Obviously, they beat Sevilla in the last round, but in the last 4 editions of the Champions League, they've lost out to Spanish sides every time. 2013-14, they lost to Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid side. That team going on to win the Champions League, La Décima, was 1-0 at the Bernabeu, and then 4-0 in Munich. Pep Guardiola, the coach at the time. The following season they lost to Barcelona, who also went on to win the trophy. The next season they lost to Atletico, and then obviously last season they lost again to Real Madrid. So you know, it's potentially a 5th consecutive exit to a Spanish side in the Champions League for Bayern Munich, and last night's win for Real Madrid was their 6th in a row away to the German champions, and that's just an amazing stat, really, because it's such a difficult place to go. You know, a team that has just swept aside everyone in the Bundesliga this season. Also been impressive in Europe, and but Real Madrid seem to have their measure, at least in the Champions League. And like I said, you know, and as I wrote last night, even without a Cristiano Ronaldo goal, he did have the ball in the back of the net, but was disallowed for a handball in the build-up. Even without a Ronaldo goal, Real Madrid found a way to win, even without playing well. You know, they're the champions, and they showed just why they're the champions. And it's really very impressive resilience that they can make it through without even playing, really, I would say, anywhere near their best. You know, they soaked it up, they equalised, and then they found a way to win the game. And you know, Bayern will be wondering how they lost, just as Paris Saint-Germain will be wondering how they lost in the first leg at the Bernabeu. The second leg in Paris, Real Madrid were dominant. Juventus, in a way, also, you know, after coming back from a 3-goal deficit, losing the first leg 3-0 in Turin, going 3 goals up at the Bernabeu, and they were right there back in it. But again, you know, backs to the wall, Real Madrid found a way, and you know, they're the masters at that. So you know, they're favourites, definitely favourites to go through, and obviously looking for their 3rd straight Champions League crown, which would be an amazing achievement. But Bayern very much in this tie still, and you know, the return of Roma against Liverpool at the Stadio Olimpico is also going to be very interesting next week. So lots to look forward to. Thanks for joining me, guys, and please leave your comments on the game, your thoughts, and if you like this video, please subscribe. Trying to build up this channel, and it's great to do these videos and interact with you all. So take care and have a great day, and I'll be back with another video soon. Goodbye.